Hey guys, MUR-LOCK 68 here. Hope everybody is doing well today on Stock Lock Sunday. This is a special edition. Special edition because it'll be two parts, one at a later date. I'm going to tell a little story on the lock that I'm featuring today. This lock that I'm featuring today comes from a friend of mine who basically I've known for a few years because our kids play hockey together. So long story short, we were discussing hobbies and what we like to do, and I mentioned locks and so on and so forth. And he proceeded to tell me that he had a vintage old lock. And sure enough, my response was, well, what is it? He says, I have no clue. He says, this is what he secures his shed with. He says, it's got to be 30+ years old. I bought it in and around finishing high school and so on and so forth. So we did the math and we came up with approximately 30 to 35 years. I said, well, when you go home, send me some pictures and let me see what you got, just for the hell of it. I said, take a picture of any markings, any words that are on padlock and so on and so forth, especially the keyhole and so on and so forth. So, in short, he sends me photos, and I immediately start to laugh when I see a rusted out laminated padlock. This is what he chose to secure his valuables with. So I responded back to him. I was interested just to have a look at it, and it was stamped Hong Kong, so that's one thing that interested me because you don't see that much. And the other thing that it was stamped that tells you that it's well over 30 years old was the fact that they didn't call it a laminated lock. It was stamped right on there, layered. And this is the lock right here. A little tough to open. Take a look at the irregular design of the shackle. Take a look. You'll see one locking pole, one cutout, nothing on the other side, so we'll get to that later. And here's what I found funny right there. Layered. Layered bell cylinder. 8 rivets. Now we typically see 4 or 6. It's stamped clearly on the bottom as 43 millimeter. I've measured this 4 or 5 times with a digital caliper, and it's 44.2. Nowadays it's the other way around. If it says 44, it's typically 43.5 or whatever the case may be. And the stamping Hong Kong. The other thing I noticed is the unusually wide bottom of the keyway, which looks wide open but calls for binding of the core, if you ask me. So in short, I'm supposed to protect his identity, but we'll see. I told him I was going to feature this lock in 2 parts. One, to show him how horrible the lock probably is. Honestly, I said that the only thing that maybe could keep me out of here is the rust. So depending on how that goes, I would maybe reveal his full name and address and social insurance number. And the second part, I've decided to, since it's that old, I'm going to gut it at a later date. So for today, this antique classic, as he called it, I'm going to try to get into it. We'll use a few methods. First one being SPP I just got this, so it hasn't been touched. It feels a little bit stiff, so that should play a role. We'll see how that works out. I gave him shit for using WD-40. So it is a 4-pinner. So I guess we'll try the SPP first. For my good friend, that stands for single pin picking, which probably be the toughest method anyway. So we'll try that from bottom of the keyway and see what we come up with here on this 4-pinner. It's locked. See if I can get that tension wrench in a favorable spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and my tension wrench is binding as I suspected it would. Try this one here. Let's see if that helps. Let's try again. And it's binding. No surprises. Let's see if I can get this in a different angle here. Okay, pin 1, pin 2, 3. It's binding again. All right. We got it open. A little bit of rust, but we got it open. It is a 4-pinner, typically all standard pins. So now we're gonna try a different technique. You guys know it as zipping. I'm gonna put the tension wrench in the bottom of the keyway. Very light tension. We'll just use kinetic energy as we fly across these pins and see if it'll come open. And there we go. I'm definitely going to have to reveal his full name and credentials. I think he was not only storing stuff in the shed, but he was storing his wife's jewelry as well in there. So what else can we try? We'll try an L rake. Again, the binding of the core. We'll see if we can get the L rake in there. That's a city rake as we know it. See how that works. Bind the core again. Let's try this tensioner. No, cannot get that to stop binding. One thing it's got going for it is, there, see if the tension wrench just falls out. Well, we got it with the L rake. So that's 3. What else can we try with this baby? I'm looking at the core, and I don't believe it's core shimmable because it does have the lip on it. And if we try to get, yeah, shim in there, it does not go in, so that's a bonus. One locking pawl tells me that we could be able to get into it with a shim from the shackle. Let's see. So for my good friend, we'll just take one of these. This is a shackle shim. We'll slide it down. If I can get it in here. So now we have it in place around the shackle, and your wife's jewelry is mine. Lawnmower, snowblower, whatever you want to give me. So it does only have the one locking pawl. What else? What else can I try on this? Let's try SPPing again from the top. How about that? How about we try that? Well, SPP this from the top of the keyway. 1, 2, 3. Man, that's a sticky pin 4. It has no interest in moving. There's such a flop in the core. Holy Moses. It's fighting. There we go. So, my good friend, that's your antique classic layered bell cylinder. We now call it laminated that nowadays. It's been violated. I've given you something in exchange since you donated this one to science. I think we tried everything we could to embarrass this little guy. A little bit of rust put up a fight. There's the key. It is a 4-pinner, guys. Let's see if I can show that to you. There you go. 4-pinner. And we pegged the age, like I said, we pegged the age at 30 to 35 years. And that's it. Part 2 will come as I will attempt to remove all these rivets. And by looking at this, if I pull off the just knock off the heads of the rivets, I'll be able to remove the top plate, which will then release the core. I'm interested to see if 30 to 35 years gives me an all brass core Bible and so on and so forth. And see what's on the inside. My plan is to put it back together after, either with I may just keep the existing rivets in there and just tack weld the back permanently on after I change the springs and so on and so forth. So that's my story for this Stock Lock Sunday. This Bell layered cylinder, donated to science, no longer protecting the family goods, thank God. Lessons learned. That's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, subscribe, and my dear friend, I will keep you out of the limelight and not give away any of your information. Have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, please subscribe, and stay tuned for part 2 at a later date. Take care. Hey guys, quickly I decided one more technique was warranted. We'll use this 50 thousandths pry bar, put it in the bottom. Put it in the bottom like that, and we'll bitch pick this open. Just like that. I'll show that again. Just want to make sure my dear friend gets the message. We'll put that in there like that, and that's it. That's enough for this guy. Take care. Hey guys, I'm back. So this Bell 44mm made in Hong Kong, the layered type cylinder. I just performed surgery on it as promised. Everybody is resting well now as the surgery is complete. So I'll go over a couple of things with you. We're talking at about 35 years, between 30 and 35. Most of these outside, and this was, you know, a few impressive things I did find. So to start off, I've got tape around the body to hold the layers. So I'll show you what I did. So basically, I just knocked off the heads and then just simply removed the top plate. And for being outside, that thing is in pretty good condition. So there's the plate there. Okay, so once I knocked off the plate, I was able to remove the core. One of the most impressive things I found in there, again, for being outside, take a look at that condition of that spring. Stainless steel, not a sign of rust on the shackle spring. Now that shackle spring, if you look on the back of that, was only being held in place by the plate, just like that. The core, as I thought, is a brass core, all brass. Does have some weight to it. The markings that you see there, I did have a little trouble getting it out because surprisingly enough it was crimped, and for whatever reason their crimp was on both sides, so I did have a little bit of difficulty getting it out. The body, the Bible, aluminum cast right there. This thing could stay outside for another 30 years, I guess. Initially I was debating, I did slide this plate across. It seems now that that would have been the easier way, instead of trying to get that core out. The master half follower did help, but there were some issues in getting it out. So that is complete dissection, and you've got stainless steel springs in here, 4 of them, 4 standard key pins, and 4 standard drivers. So the dissection is complete. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it back together just because of the fact that it's been around so long, and I can just as easily put it back together once I get the core. So I will take pictures anyway, but I'll see if I can get that up to you guys. There you go. The condition of that spring is amazing. It's clean, absolutely clean. As standard is going to get. Now what I'll do is, like I said, I have tape around here. I have tape around here because these plates were just easily separating. Once I popped them off, the rivets just want to come right out the top. So I could easily replace the rivets or just put the bottom cap on it and tack weld it back into place, and then grind it off and make it look half decent. So there's the bottom plate, like I said. Hong Kong, marked 43 millimeters. I'll show you guys the inside again. It's in pretty good condition considering it was outside for a long time. So that concludes for my good friend. As I promised, I thank him for donating this treasure to science. It was more that I'm thankful that he's no longer securing anything valuable with it. I think I did show the key. It is a 4-pinner. There we go. Not bad getting up to pin 4, but I'm happy with the quality of what I found inside. Today's version, this would have been plastic. We all know that. And we also know that there would not have been a lip. Most likely this lip here would be non-existent today, and allowing a core shim to get in, and that wasn't happening on this one. So that's it. The bell 44.4 millimeter with 8 millimeter hardened steel shackle, dissected as promised. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I will add close-ups of this. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and I appreciate all your support. Thank you.